Hello, Mario. Well, SMOKO with Mario, episode 2. So, I didn't think I'd get today's episode done, really. I been very busy this week. I didn't have any time, but it's quite a rainy day today, and I left the heat pump in my office here on overnight, so it's the warmest place in the house to be. It's a balmy 22 degrees in here. So what have we got for SMOKO today? Well, I'm not outside. It could improve a little later on, but it was pretty miserable this morning. So I just had a bit of a look around in the fridge and the cupboards and see what we've come up for. So a couple of boiled eggs that my wife had prepared earlier and were in the fridge, so 2 of those, a bit of protein there. And then I've got these feta blocks of feta cheese on a bit of Italian salami, so a little bit more protein there, probably those. And then some Greek yogurt, my wife's Greek yogurt. This is the real good stuff. Look at that. It's like, look how it's peaking. Very, it's just the texture and the taste just was, and I'm going to have that with maple syrup. And then we'll probably finish off with we've got some kiwi fruit. Kiwi fruit today, good solid kiwi fruit, quite not the fluffy skins. And there, so I've cut them into slices. A banana and some passion fruit left over, still some passion fruit from our passion fruit vine from last year, still producing, and they're a bit wrinkly, but a different taste, not quite as sweet as when they first come up. And then we'll finish with the apple, and of course along the way some English breakfast tea in the polka dot cup. So there we have it, a bit of a scratch SMOKO today. You get the bite of the salami with the saltiness of the feta cheese. Very nice. All right. Might have another one of those. And then we'll perhaps get into an egg or something like that. So, interesting week this week. Since last weekend. Had a great weekend away with the mystery group. So, for quite a few years, a group of us have been going away on the weekends. 4 couples. We've been doing this for over 20 years now. When we first started, we all had young kids. So between us, we had got about 15 kids between us. So we all had to find babysitters and things for them, and then we'd all go away for a weekend. We'd only one couple plans it, and the others we don't know where we're going. So I've been to some great places. We don't go very far. Sometimes we've hired vans. Sometimes we've gone in cars. One time we just went local and stayed at one couple's house for the night. It's been good. We've got to know our local area quite well. We went down to Wellington one time, I think. Yes, we went. We flew down to Wellington. That's right. Flew to Wellington and then caught the train home. Yeah, on the train, came back up the main trunk line. That was fun. So anyway, this weekend we went over to the Bay of Plenty. We stayed in Omokoroa, and Omokoroa, and we went to a couple of places. We first stop was Matamata. We had a breakfast there. We left quite early. Breakfasted in Matamata. And we went to the Tapuna Quarry Park. It was quite cool. And then to our B&B, Airbnb in Omokoroa, and then into Bethlehem sort of area for a lovely meal, beautiful meal for the evening, and then back home to watch the All Blacks play South Africa. Very nice. The next day, again we were up early, down to the harbour, and we did a boat cruise around the Tauranga Harbour. That was pretty good. Quite interesting in and around the harbour with the big ships and that. I was able to look them up on the ChatGPT, find out where they were, what they did, that sort of thing. And that was on the Sunday morning. And then, bit of lunch. For lunch, we went to Patrick's Pies in Bethlehem. And, checked out the pies, had a nice pie, donut, can of Coke. Good pies. Now, I went there a few years ago to Patrick's Pies, just after he'd won a competition. He's won lots of competitions, but the pies on that particular day were unbelievable. So the pie that I got this weekend was good, but same pie, mince pie, but I don't reckon it was quite up to the same standard as the one I got that day after he won the competition. I have to say, well, I can hardly pick that pie up. It had so much meat in it. Sometimes memory can be quite deceptive. Just a quick break here to check everything's going right. Cool. Yes. Yes. So that was the mystery weekend. Oh, and we stopped off Patrick's Pies. Oh, we stopped off somewhere for on the way home as well. Where was that? Oh, Morrinsville. We stopped off in Morrinsville and had a wee drink. You know, a raspberry and lemonade I had. A wee drink there, and then we came on home. Great weekend. So this week, I've got a little contract that I'm working on, getting paid for. So I've been working on that. Haven't done too much outside at all, really. In the garden or... Oh, except for... I had to go in and install some smoke alarms with my lovely wife. Yeah, some smoke alarms. Oh, that was yesterday. But apart from that, I've been working on my my contract. Whoa. Oh dear. Wow. Definitely. Ooh. That was sharp. Definitely not as sweet as definitely not as sweet as they are at the start of summer. Woo. Jeez. Whew. With a taste like that, I hope they're good for you. No, they're very wow. Very not sweet. Okay, right, here we go. I might do the kiwi fruit next. Might help. Perfect choice, Maurieo. Just the bloody ticket, all right, for that one. So with this little contract, I've been reviewing some material, and I've got a couple of videos to make now as well, which I sort of suggested along the way. So, oh yeah. Oh, I love that green kiwi fruit. Very good for the digestion too. I haven't made any progress on my my progress on trying to grow kiwi fruit at home. I think that's going to be a long-term mission. So, oh yeah. All right. Damn, they're nice. Yeah. Kiwi fruit. Top fruit. It's a great fruit to have associated with your country, I reckon, the kiwi fruit. All right, the old Greek yogurt. So, yeah. Not much happened in the garden at all. Really, tell the truth. And, my bloody garage is a fucking mess. It wasn't that flush to start with, but since, well, my lovely wife's been outside trimming the hedges, and so we had to get the scaffolding out of the garage, which I've been using for storing things on. And now everything's back, but things keep falling off everywhere. So I thought I might sort of do a bit of tidy work in the garage this afternoon, but some more work's come through, so I'm keen to have a look at that. We'll see how that goes. I might get out there a bit later on. I can see a bit of blue sky out there at the moment, so could be good. Hospital tomorrow. Heading in for another infusion. And then I've got a meeting. Go and see a man about a piece of land that they've bought, or they want to sell. That's right. And then getting told all sorts of stuff, all sorts of BS about what they have to do with it. So go and do that after the hospital. And then, well, I'll still have a bit more work to do on the little contract I've got, so I'll probably use that next week. It's fortunate that I've got the lawns mowed, and so I don't have to fit that in. Although they're growing quite a lot now, so we'll have to see. If you want to join me on SMOKO with Maurieo, maybe, sit down, have a smoko together, or you'd like me to come and have smoko with you, maybe? I'm keen. I'm happy to travel. Maybe an hour and a half, just depending how we all work it out. Or even meet halfway. I'm open to all options. Or even come and have smoko with you and your team. I love smoko banter, eh? It's awesome. That's the one thing I miss about working. The highlight of my working day was smoko. Not the food, but the chatter and the rapport. Well, sometimes I didn't even have food. Sometimes I just had a cup of tea and a chat. Luckily, we could let our smokos go on a little bit. When I first started work, 1972. Yeah, 1972. Well, 72, thanks. Yeah, probably 72. They used to have the time book at work, and you'd come in and sign in, put the time, and then at 8 o'clock, it was 8 o'clock, the boss would come out and he'd draw a red line across. This is in the Lands and Survey Department, Wellington, in the old State Insurance Building, and draw a line across the bottom, and if you signed after a red line, if you signed after that, you were late, You had to make up time and stuff. Then it was around about 9:30, or maybe earlier, you would hear the tinkling of these teacups and stuff. And that'd be the tea lady. She'd come and set up, make a pot of tea, put a whole lot of cups on the tea trolley, and some other offices had tea trays and things like that. Then at 10 o'clock, everything would stop, have a cup of tea time. In the office, we didn't have a tea room or anything. And all sorts of little things would happen, like the surveyors, they used to go and pick up their tea tray and take it down to their office. And people would stand around and have a cup of tea, 10 to 10:15. That was it. And back to work. And, that was the time when people told stories. In the map mounting room, I think they had a table tennis table. They'd play table tennis out there. And there was one group of guys, they had like continuous card game of 500. You know, the score was like 237 to, 222 or something like that. Everyone would stand around and watch. Oh, well, that was just the tea. And then before that, like one of my jobs, or at different times, one of my jobs was to go and do the pie run, go around, get everyone's orders for SMOKO, pie, sandwich, whatever. And then you'd head over to the bakery and get it all. So everything was cash, so guy might give you a couple of dollars and say they want a pie and stuff, and then you'd have to put their change in the bag, but you had to be a little bit careful. There was one day, I don't know whether it was me or one of the boys, put the change back in, and a 20-cent piece ended up inside someone's sandwich, and then they bit into it, and they weren't too happy. Trip to the dentist. Yeah, it was fun. And then the stories, what happened. And that was morning, then lunch, to eat lunchtime. 12 to 1, we used to have an hour off for lunch. So. Quite often I'd go for a walk, have a bit of a look around, see who was in town, might go with one of my work colleagues or something. Quite often I'd end up at, say, Whitgill's or somewhere and maybe buy a book. Books were pretty cheap. Bring that home and read it. Still got some of them, some of those books. And then we'd have another afternoon tea, SMOKO, at 3 o'clock, 3:15. And then it was just 3:15, and then it was just like an hour and a bit. Till knock off SMOKO at 4:35. 4:35, that's right. 8 till 4:35. Eight hours, 35 minutes, with an hour off for lunch. 7 hours, 35. Then if you did overtime, the first 25 minutes didn't count. because you got paid for 8 hours. I got the rules. So, there you go. All right. Thanks for joining me for SMOKO with Maurieo. Just a cup of tea to go. And, well, that should be enough to fuel me through the afternoon. Got a video to make. Oh, good. Bloody marvellous.